So it is May 26th, and it's been a while since I did an update. This is currently what the backyard looks like from our porch. We had several trees cut down that were dead and were either going to potentially fall on the house or take the power lines down. No, I mentioned it in another video. One of them was right here, right on our fence line, and was right next to, of course, you probably can't see the power line in this video, but they took it down fairly expertly. Still trying to clean up some of the smaller pieces. I'm gonna do a quick video for you on the trees. Again, these were the last two planted. I believe that they are pawpaw. Kind of cool today, so I don't have to worry about snakes nearly as much as I have been the past couple of days. Here are some of the earlier trees. They're coming along pretty well. My sister and brother-in-law, who we gave several trees to, have run into issues with the high winds breaking some of their apple trees. Most of ours over in this area are pretty well protected from the wind. As you can see, these are doing pretty well over here. Don't get to water these too much, so luckily we've had a good amount of rain. And this little guy, almost caught him with the lawnmower the other day because I couldn't see it very well. There were three more that were also planted fairly late. Remember if this was an apple. I think it was. I think this is a red bud, and I believe this is either a cherry or another one of the apple. And we're right over here by the original three trees. Probably should have changed out of my work shoes before coming down here, but oh well, it's not that bad. This is a cherry. This was the first tree we planted. It's a little more exposed to the wind, but it still has some pretty good wind breaks around it. Another little guy here. It's also doing well. And the third tree that we planted the same day blends in really, really well currently. It's surrounded by an area we had clear cut, and turns out weeds and thorns and stuff grow much faster than our trees are. Over here, we actually cleared out quite a bit and get to our side yard now. I don't know if you can see our ducks. They're just hanging out. They love coming into the field and rooting around. This is a little rowboat that's filled with water because it probably has a drain plug still in it. This is something my parents had since I was a kid. I think it was actually my grandfather's. It's in a bit of disrepair. Definitely need to get some more plywood. It floats. It doesn't take on much water. So we'll use it. You can kind of see the top of the tree that I had pushed over with the tractor. I was able to clean up most of it, but the tree broke when I was trying to pull the last bit out, and I figure I'll just leave it there and it'll be a nice little fish habitat. Also done some good pretty good clean out over here. I had a lot of brush. Just took a bush hog in here, cleaned it up. We actually have 2 apple trees. So I'm pretty sure these are apple trees. I was actually surprised these are doing so well because they really don't get a lot of natural light. I say them because the second one is over here. And I'm really not so sure how this one's going to do in the long run because the water level, the groundwater level here is really, really high. So when I planted this thing, it was actually, hole was filling up with water at the very bottom. So it may or may not survive, but the name of the game at that point was get as many trees in the ground as I could because we had ordered 80 and we received over 100. I'll have to get all the information from who we ordered from because it was pretty nice. Here we have a cherry. I should probably get to know the leaves a little bit better because I believe the cherries were all the same type. Again, this guy was transplanted a couple of weeks after it was originally planted. This, again, I need to learn the leaves, is either the pawpaw or a red bud. Another cherry. This was when we were trying to get as many cherries in the ground as we could, I think. This must be one of our apple trees. I think this is one of the last cherries because we're trying to get some more apple planted. This must be one of the apple. This must be another apple, so we're trying to get some cross-pollination happening here. This is probably a red bud. We'll go with that. Another, I believe this is a dwarf apple. I'm pretty sure we wrote down what these were at the time of planting, so I'll have to get that from my wife. And this is either a cherry here at the end or just another apple. We had some really amazing blackberries here until about a week ago. The reason I clear cut this is because every time I came down here, I kept running into water moccasins in the blackberry bushes. It's getting kind of old. Our ducks love to hang out over here, so I didn't want to start shooting right next to them and scare them off. But coming up to our little swale here, we've got the only pecan tree we actually got planted. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Got some rosemary growing here. This stuff is a trooper. It got pretty dry for a week or two in a row, and that stuff just soldiered on. Got some comfrey growing here. It didn't look like it was